So
It feels very like production instead of
yes,
like,
and I
hey,
hate
what's
that.
up?
I used to send questions and like
The script.
a kind of like a script, right? Pero it just makes me feel like I'm interviewing you, and I,
Yes.
I I don't like that at all. I like for things to flow. I like for things to like like take their own way. So I don't really have a structure. I just like to talk. To be honest, it just the reason why I started this too fue por mis amigos. We would get drunk, and with friends, it's really easy to like just start talking.
Simone.
And y hay muchos memes de like, oh, people are always like, we should start a podcast. But it's true. Like having deep conversations with people is really good.
Yeah.
And
Stimulating.
yes, yes. And it makes you think about others, That's what I feel that we need here in America.
I agree.
Yeah. And I wanted to bring this up with you guys. I know you're a DACA recipient. I don't know if
Yes.
you.
No, I was born and raised here.
You're
in Austin.
nice, bro. Good shit. Good job.
Lucky.
Good job. I'm a DACA recipient as well.
No way.
Yeah,
What?
yeah. But I don't really care about it much. It's bad to say, I guess. I've never really cared about status or like where I'm from, or because I don't believe in anything.
Right.
I don't believe like that I'm supposed to be proud of something of where I was raised or where I was born, or like there's a lot of things that I'm like we should just live like
Yeah.
para qué. And I don't understand being proud of Mexico when I haven't lived in Mexico in years, and I'm not proud of living here because I'm not from here. So I'm just like, I'm trying to find where I stay, where I stand in the world. And a lot of people are like really proud of stuff, especially here in America. They're really proud of being Americans. And I understand it. I get it because I used to be like that. But now I don't like America as much.
I mean, it's not much to like right now.
Right? Right?
It's
Yeah.
a scary time to live here. I think being proud of being Mexican for me is just like the culture, the way I was raised, and like how different it is from being
Yeah.
raised here and being raised American, I guess.
Okay.
But I don't know Mexico either.
Yeah. You've never been?
I haven't been since I was 2.
Oh, yeah. I got it closer to you. Since you were 2?
I
And you don't remember nothing. I
Nothing.
was 5 when I got here. So I hardly remember stuff from Mexico either. Pero me gusta mucho que hablo español.
Sí.
Spanish has to be the best language. Actually, no, I think I like Japanese a little bit better because
I
of
don't know
anime.
Japanese.
Yeah, because of anime.
Dude, that's what I was gonna say to you. Like, first of all, like, thank you for bringing us into your home, and then second of all, I think this whole vibe here, like
It's
all the
amazing.
anime stuff against the wall, it's like my type, dude.
Oh, yeah.
And like that's all the horror stuff. Like I'd be scared of shit sometimes. I'm like, bro, none of that shit is real, but like just
It's
in case it
scary.
is, like,
Dude.
dude, this is badass. So I mean, like, I fuck with all of this, dude. Like all the art, like
Hell
I know
yeah.
I grew up with it too. So
Did you
Yeah.
draw this?
I drew everything and I
Oh,
painted
dude,
it. Yes.
No way,
Yeah.
dude.
yeah.
This is insane. dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
dude,
is
I'll be
amazing.
getting bored. This happened during COVID.
Ah.
You know, I was laid off for like a month or 2. And I was like, what the fuck do I do? So I started muraling, like the niño siempre quise. I remember my mom once, she kind of beat me up because I painted a bunch of stuff in my room. We lived in apartments though, so I get it, deposit and everything. She got really mad because we were out from school and I started drawing a bunch, like back when I was in school, we used to like do our names in like graffiti form.
Yes.
With the
So, yeah. And I did a bunch of stuff in my wall, and she got really mad. So now that I'm an adult and I have free time, I was like, what do I do? And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna draw in the wall because I can. So I started doing it, and it started kind of ugly, to be honest. I started getting better with time. So I love it so much. I like anime a lot. I feel like I could have been, and I would love to live over there in Japan. Yeah. I like the culture, the food, a lot. But I do love being Mexican though. Don't get me wrong. I like I like the music,
Mexican
dude.
food.
La música en español no se compara mucho a la música en inglés. Like yo escucho mucha banda. Amazing, bro. It's just like wow, like
Las historias, las palabras.
el amor que
Ajá.
la gente cuando canta de amor in Spanish, dude, it's just something
Se
else.
siente.
Sí, and then we might be biased because I was born speaking Spanish, so I am a little bit biased towards that because I'm not gonna say that there's Bruno Mars, like Adele, that have like amazing songs, but in Spanish it just hits different for me,
for sure.
at least. But either way, coming back, I don't feel proud of it. To me, I started realizing and I understood that being proud of something means that I worked for it. I'm proud of my house. I'm proud of like what I've done in life. I can't be proud of something that I didn't choose. So because I didn't choose being Mexican, I'm just like, okay, it's cool, but I'm not. Dude, there's people that are like, I'll die for like the flag, and I'm like, damn, that's crazy. What do you mean you'll die? Like what? Here in the USA and
Yeah.
Texas también, muchos tejanos son muy like die hard, and I'm like, what do you mean you'll die for the flag? Like, it is a little bit crazy to me.
To
I
put
feel
your
like
life on the line for something
yes,
that's
dude.
out of your control.
Oh my God, no. Siento que tiene que mucho ver con el control que Estados Unidos tiene en la gente. They not manipulate us because I mean we're free, right? To like believe
We're free
whatever.
to go.
But I don't know. I think it is their fault. They desde chiquitos te empiezan a meter. You need to be proud. You need to be proud. That's why in school,
pledge allegiance
yes,
to-
that's why they make you do that. In Mexico is the same thing, dude. In Mexico is the same thing. They make
Yeah,
you,
same idea.
yeah, they make you like march. They have like ceremonias and like everybody like pledges to the bandera. It's the same thing. And what that does is just they're just trying to make you feel proud. They
Yeah.
just want you to be proud. So when there's things going wrong, they can just be like, "But this is your country." So you don't kind of
stand
like,
by it,
yeah. And I'm just like, damn, that's messed up. That's a little bit messed. I understand pride though. I understand.
I mean, I get a lot of
Yeah.
because I talk about DACA a lot on TikTok, and I get a lot of comments that are like, "Oh, well, you need to be proud, and you need to give up all your
Te lo voy a acercar un poquito más.
pride to Mexico or another country so that you can be American." And I'm like, why? Like, what does that have
Yeah.
to do with anything?
No, y también pienso que English and Spanish, ¿verdad? Lo que sea.
De los
I mean,
dos.
yeah, you guys understand
I
this.
speak English all the way,
Cool.
yes.
I feel like it's okay to ask for more of your country. I feel like it's okay to be like, hey, we're not happy. Can you do better?
Yeah.
Like, we're not. I love this place. I mean, I have a nice house. This place has given me so much.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna like trash talk them to the way that I'm like, oh, like burn the flag. I mean, I don't really care about that either ways. But like, I'm not gonna trash talk like that. I'm just concerned that there is a lot of things going wrong with the country, and people don't see it. People are so blind. People are like following Trump like he's a celebrity or something, dude. And it's just, oh no, it's crazy to me.
They tell you not to glorify anyone but God, and then they glorify him.
And then that guy, dude, that guy, to me, Trump is funny. I don't, it's not that I hate him. I kind of do. But he's just a really funny character, but not for presidency. Like it's just, and it's both sides, right? I remember like Obama and everybody like loved him too, but like he did some stuff that was not okay. It's all about like, I feel like people forget that the government works for us, for the people. I really feel like people forget that. It's like you don't take, if you don't like it, you can say something. You know, they have to fix stuff for us.
Yeah.
And it's crazy how now they just do things for money, especially Trump, right?
Yeah.
He's a businessman.
Yeah. And but all he helps is like his buddies that have money or people that have money, and it's crazy how, you know, I wish I had money.
Yeah.
No, and I'm biased again. I'm biased. I don't believe in anything because I don't believe in anything. I can see different points of views, and I'm always telling my friends, if I was a millionaire, I would have probably voted for him. No lie. Like if I had money and he's gonna give me more money, I understand. I understand why people do things. I'm like, if I had money and he was offering me like 2 more million a year, I would have probably given him a vote.
But I think that's what I tell my friends. Like, the thing about politics now is Trump is very, like, the people who are voting for Trump are very much being selfish.
Yeah.
Because everything has to do with money, and everything has to do with making more money, or only caring about the people who fit that category.
Yeah.
Whereas the other side of it is you care about people, and you think that people deserve basic rights, basic healthcare. Everyone deserves food. Everyone is a person. Like, it's not just about you and your money.
Yeah.
And that's to me, that's where it comes down to.
That's why I don't like money.
Yeah.
I really don't like money. I've had so many episodes, and my friends are always like, "Well, give it to me." And
Well, that's
it's a necessity, right?
yeah.
But
You
I
don't
don't
like it, but
even with the podcast, because I've been doing it for a while, I've had friends here that other people that do podcasts, and they make money out of it already, right? Some of
Yeah.
them make money out of it, and they're like, "Oh, well, we can connect you with this, and we can connect you with that," and I don't want to bring money into it because it does something to people.
you
Money,
lose control.
yeah, money is evil in a way. And look at all these small podcasters that now do podcasts for like who's
Ads.
not only for ads. There's this the I was just talking to my friend yesterday about it. We had an episode. Um, what are these two guys that did that a podcast with con el presidente de Israel? Okay, did you guys see that? You guys okay? So it was two podcasters, dude, and they did this podcast with the president. Oh, I don't know if it's president over there in Israel, and they were just asking dumb questions and like praising him, and he was like giving his bullshit shit.
It's the Full Send, the Nug Boys? Or
Yeah,
okay.
those guys. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. When people like pay you money, I feel like you're willing to like let things slide. I wouldn't talk to that guy. I feel like it's evil what's happening over there.
Yeah.
So like that's what I'm saying. Money makes you do things, and not only I can take it to like a lower level. The companies that were trying to like work with me were alcohol. And for a while, I was okay with it. I was like, oh yeah, drinking is cool. I mean, I drink. I have drinks here with for my guests sometimes. But then I started realizing, and this is because I'm a dad, I think, and I'm old now. I'm 32.
You're not even old.
Well, not old, but like my mindset. Because I remember people telling me like, "Hey, no tomen chavos, no fumen, like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
bad." And I was a teen. I was like, whatever, fuck it. Like I'm gonna get drunk and like I would drink all the fucking time. Now I'm that old guy that's like, hey, like let's slow down. Like why are we drinking so much? Like what's going on? So now like not even in the pod when I had somebody that was telling me, oh we have this tequila. I forgot what the name of the tequila, and they can sponsor you and they can like you just have to put the bottle here and like take a shot with your guest and like you just make a little video. And I was just like, I don't think alcohol is something that like
I want to glamorize. Yeah.
I don't want to represent that. And I used to tell people to smoke because I used to be a smoker. I smoked weed. I used to tell people, yeah, weed is so it's good, it's relaxing. But now I think about it, I'm like, what am I really trying to tell people to do? I think it's messed up of me to like tell people to do stuff like that when it's not healthy. So I changed a lot of the way, and I think this is because I'm a dad now. I'm telling you, like I don't want my kids doing these things.
I think it's a lifestyle change when you age. Like me, not that I've always been a big drinker, but like lately, I think I've gotten more into like health and wellness, and I try not to drink so often. Like I'll try to do like 30 days with no alcohol. Not that I actually meet the 30 days, but I'm like trying to actively like I have my Oura ring, and it tells me that I don't sleep as well when I have alcohol. So I'm like, why am I like, yeah, it's fun, but if I'm not going to sleep well, and then I have all these goals, like I'm training for my first half marathon, I'm doing the gym, like I work long hours. So I'm like, I can't sacrifice my sleep just because I want to have a drink, you know?
Yeah.
So I really weigh it differently now. And like, I've never been a smoker. I also have never been a runner, but now I'm running.
But that's healthy, right? I
Yeah.
mean, that's a good habit to pick up on. What about you, bro? Do you drink? You smoke?
Yeah.
All of the above. All of the above.
I think I first one thing I want to mention about you, I respect that you're like I don't really believe in nothing or stand for really nothing, because I feel like a lot of what I do in my day-to-day life is very like neutral based or like logic based. Like, okay, well, if somebody's gonna do this, then so be it. I'm not gonna be there, or I'm gonna take a step back, or if I'm doing something for myself, it's because it's for me, not for anybody else. And we know we were raised to like do things for other people, like oh, tienes que hacer esto, tienes que trabajar para tu mamá,
Oh yeah.
oh, tienes que hacer esto por tu hermano, o tienes que hacer esto porque you have to be an example for somebody else. So not me myself, I just kind of like live life on an everyday basis, every moment kind of basis. And yeah, I'll drink with my friends, it's fun, it's for a good time and every now and then. But there are the bad sides to it. It's like I see why people should stop doing this, or continue to do this as I'm growing up, and it's like, okay, well, maybe I'm good with having this. And same with smoking, like, yeah, I have my vices and everybody has their own vices, but I think everybody has their reasons. And I'm sure there's going to come a day when it's like, oh, well, maybe this is not me anymore. Maybe this is a little moment in my life.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, what's the next thing? Like maybe I was happy when I was like young smoking. Like I was like, oh yeah, I'm high. Like I love the music and it's a good vibe. But now it's like, what makes me happy now? So now I'm like out there, I'm playing golf, I'm like athletic,
All right.
I try to like get into
we
sports
met at
and
the
stuff
gym.
like that.
Cool.
So it's just like yes, I do have my own vices, but I live on a day-to-day basis, and it's like whatever's gonna make me happy today. And I'll have like some drawbacks, and I have like one step forward, two steps back, but it's all good. I feel like I'm enjoying my day. And
Chat
enjoying my life.
ChatGPT has helped me a lot with that.
Dude,
Um,
yes, I agree with that too.
por esa manera de pensar lógico, I feel like ChatGPT has helped. It just structures things for me a lot. I know it's bad. A lot of people like are against it.
Yeah.
To use it for like not personal, but like what does ChatGPT know about being a human? They don't, it doesn't really know much, right? But like it structures things for you to understand them in a way where it's helpful for you. So that's what I
Yeah.
started doing. I started using it as a therapist, and like it started telling me things, and I was just like, okay, that makes a lot of sense. Like the why are you smoking? Why am I drinking? Like why is this fun? And I understood that, dude, feeling high is so cool. I don't smoke anymore, but and I don't condone it. Like, don't do it.
Yeah, don't do
But it is just for me, it was such a good feeling. It was
Yeah.
such a good feeling, and I understood that it was just me getting out of like life is not that good. life is hard.
Life is stimulating right now.
Yeah.
There's so many things going on in the world right now. It's
Yeah,
like-
no, and not only like not even like out there, just personal stuff.
Oh, okay.
Like personal things is life is hard. Being in a relationship is not easy. Like it's not always like lovey dovey. I feel like it takes a lot of work. So like all these things will like just like accumulate inside of me, and my way of coping with it was drinking and smoking, because you feel out of it. You don't feel in your senses. So I started understanding that, and I was just like, okay, there has to be better ways of doing it. And this is why I started inviting a lot of people that do fitness, because I think it's such a cool way of releasing
Yeah.
that and making art, dude. People that make music, I love people that make music. I've had artists here that write, and they're like, oh yeah, I felt sad, I started writing. And I've heard stories from like big artists too. Adele, she had broken up with her husband and she wrote those songs. And I'm like, dude, it's so amazing
You can
that,
create something out of that.
dude, yes. And I'm like, how cool is it to make $1 million out of a breakup when all I did was got really drunk to the point where I was blacked out. Like I
Lost
compare
some
my
weight.
I was like compare, and I'm like, dude, it is so cool that they were able to like, like use that to do something else instead of like just not. I mean, I don't think drugs fix anything. It's just like you're just stepping out, and I don't think that's a good way of dealing with problems, at least.
Yeah.
So now I started realizing it, and I'm just like, okay, yeah, I like smoking, but maybe not now, maybe not, maybe every once in a while. I still do it, just not as much,
Yeah.
and not for the reasons that I used to. Now it's just like, oh, there's a party. I have some friends that they smoke. I don't smoke as much anymore. I just like take 1 or 2 hits, and I'm just like, okay, I'm good. I can control myself too. I've always been that type of person. With drinking, it's different. I love drinking.
Who doesn't though? Because you
Dude,
feel so good during it, but then after you feel
Yeah.
like
Oh,
shit.
my- and
Well,
that's where adulting
Yes,
comes in too.
yes. I feel like that's what adulting is too. Realizing that things are not good for you, even though they're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, I need to control myself. But I started actually liking how, at least beer. I used to think beer was disgusting. Now it's just,
Hate
you
beer.
still do? Dude, now it's just, I work, and sometimes I get out of work and I drink a beer or two. And it just tastes so
And you get it.
good. I don't know why. I remember like
My
being...
tios and shit.
Yeah.
You're like, damn, I get it.
Yeah, now I get it. I remember being a kid and drinking. I think I drank that of my grandpa's beer for the first time when I was like 7.
What was it? Do you remember what it was?
Era una caguama, una corona. And that whole was disgusting. I remember how nasty it tasted.
I think it smells like shit. That's why I don't like it. I'm like the smell, but that's also just because when I was growing up, like mi papá tomaba, and I would go give him a hug, and I'd be like,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
I
That makes
also
sense.
never got into like smoking and drinking when I was young because I always was like the good kid. I was always the oldest one. I have 2 younger brothers, so it's like I didn't want them to end up doing that, so I never did it.
Oh, you're such a good sister, dude. I was the oldest one, and I was actually inviting my brothers to do things, to do these things, which it's interesting how people grow up in the same environment, but they end up doing different things because they didn't pick up on drinking or smoking. They didn't. They actually did. They don't like it.
Your brother, your
Yeah,
siblings?
my siblings. Both of them are younger than me, and both of them don't drink and don't smoke. Every once in a while, they drink. They don't smoke. They really don't like the feeling of it.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh, how interesting. How was I so, I don't know if to say toxic or like, was maybe I had a lot of weight. My mom was a single mom of 3 kids, and she was working all the time, so I had to take care of my brother. So Damn, this is therapy. So now I realize why I started doing all these grown up things, because I had to be the grown up. So it makes you grow a little bit faster. So like that's why I wanted to drink, I guess, and smoke. I wanted to feel like, oh, well, if I'm a grown up, I'm taking care of my brothers. I'm gonna be doing grown up things. I moved out of my mom's house at 16. You know, like I started doing all the. It was good. I felt like moving out of your parents' house is a good thing. I encourage it.
I
For
do
sure.
too. No, I
encourage
talked
it
my
too.
brother into moving out just because I feel like you have a better relationship with your family when you don't live with them. Te la pasas peleando, que recoge esto, que
Yeah.
no hiciste esto, que tengo que ir a hacer esto y se la pasan peleando.
And parents, I feel like now that I'm a parent, you guys no kids, right?
No
kids.
Yeah. Now that I'm a parent, I understand a lot of the frustration of being a parent, but I also deal with it a lot different than my mom. Yeah. My I don't know why. I don't know. I'm always telling people that I judge my mom way too much, and I love her. She's my mom, right? I love her, and she did the best she could with what she had. But still, I'm like, how come it fell down to me to break the cycle of abuse and like verbal and physical, and like how why didn't you stop it? Like why was it in your head? And then she tells me, oh well, my mom used to hit me, and then my mom's mom used to hit, and it just was and I'm just like, why did it had to come down to me? But I'm glad, right? So it's just really hard to be an adult right now for
It
me. Yeah.
is. It is. You have so much to worry about: finances, jobs, the political climate, your health. Like I think
Yeah, my health.
that's the one thing you can control, though. That's why I
That's true.
am like, that's like my number one focus right now. Is like I only started running because I realized that there was a friend who was teaching me about my Apple Watch, and I realized my VO2 max or whatever tells you how well
What is that?
it tells you how well your body uses oxygen
Oh,
when you're
no.
working out. It was
Science.
hideous. And I've never been a cardio girl. Like
What's like a healthy?
I think it's
V-
above
what?
it's VO2
gonna
max
have
or
to-
something.
I'm
I think
gonna
it's
have
like
to ask ChatGPT.
the higher the better, I think. I think I've
Okay.
seen someone up to like 50s, but average for like a normal adult is like 35, I think, and I think mine was like 32. And I was like, that's kind of embarrassing. Like I don't want my heart to give out on me. I don't want to like be out of breath when I'm climbing up the stairs. So then I started running. And I don't know if it's gotten much better because I don't want to check it, but I'm like doing things that I've never been able to do before. And like, I want to be healthy. Like I lost my mom to cancer when I was 17. And now I'm like, everyone needs to be healthy.
Yeah.
Like I tell him all the time, I'm like, you need to go to the doctor. I go to the doctor yearly. I do all my screenings. I just took my dad to the doctor. I'm like, everyone make sure that your health is okay, because that is the one thing you can semi-control unless
Yeah.
you have like
Okay.
cancer. But I'm like, you can do things to better your health and make yourself stronger and healthier and more able, rather than just letting yourself live life and be average.
I love
you know?
that. Me estás regañando.
Exactly.
Well, that's what my friends say. They're like, oh my gosh, Val, like you can skip a day at the gym. And I'm like, yeah, I can skip a day at the gym, but for what? To go out and get drunk? Like, which one's going to benefit me more?
Yeah.
And
No,
I think to me, I have priorities.
Yeah.
You know?
What about you, bro? I mean, you work out too, and you do a lot of physical. Was it the same? Did she make you?
No.
Blink twice.
Well,
Blink
like, like she was saying earlier, we met at a gym, you know. So, I think as I was growing up or getting out of like high school and college, I needed a job. So I picked up a job that looked cool, and it just kind of felt right for me. I walked into the interview and I was like, hey, like, I hate to break it to you, I hate to sound like confident or cocky, but it's like, this is kind of what I stand for. This is like the culture that I'm in with.
This was at
And
Lift ATX.
This was
by
at
the
Lift
way.
ATX.
Okay,
This
cool,
is
cool,
a
cool.
gym on Springdale Road. It's
I know about it.
Mom and pop. Oh, awesome. Perfect.
Never been, but I know
Never
about
been,
it.
but
Yeah,
you should
yeah.
go 100%, bro.
come.
We
No,
should
yeah,
come,
I've
dude.
had a bodybuilders that work there. No, not work there. They teach there or coach there.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I worked there for a little bit, and so like it was kind of already in my life as I was kind of like 20, which is I'm still only 24, so I'm still pretty young and I have a lot to live for. But I figured like this was a place that I could at least like grow myself into, and I had my little like workout phase where I was like bulking and doing all the cool stuff, and then I met Val. And I kind of slowed down because I went back to college. I'm a surgical tech now, so I work in the operating room. But I still needed a piece that would help me come back, that wasn't like smoking, that wasn't drinking, that wasn't being with my friends, because not everybody's going to be there 100% of the time. At the end of the day, it's just you and your mind, you know? So I think that's where ChatGPT came in, and
Oh, yeah.
and me myself, and just kind of like what is gonna make me happy on a day-to-day basis, and kind of like her, like, yeah, smoking is fun, and I love my alone time. I love having a cup of coffee and maybe smoking a joint, or at night, I'll get home from work and I'll smoke, and it's just like, okay, that's it, like, chill. But now it's like, okay, well, I could do this, or I could, go on a run, and say that I got it done throughout the day, and it helped me in a better way. And I would say I'm slacking. I think honestly Val's like killing it. She's like working out, she's consistently like running, she's doing things that are gonna make her better physically and mentally every day. And it's very motivating, I think, to be a part of that.
Love it, bro.
So I just try to involve myself as much as I can and take care of myself the best way that I can. So yeah, it's just, again, like, it's on a day-to-day basis, and I think just doing what is going to make you happy today, doing it for yourself is what's most important than nobody else. Again, it's like, who am I doing this for? Like, no, you need to do it for yourself.
Oh, yeah.
I think he asked me
Damn.
that the other day. This is like full circle for me, because I originally started working out because it was like a image thing. Like, I was unhappy with how I looked. And then I started working out, and then it turned into like, well, my health, and like, I've always been very anxious, and now I take meds. I love my Zoloft. But it's like, I used to go on a run when I was anxious, because the only thing that was going to fix my anxiety was if my heart rate was even higher, and then it would come down. And it was like the only thing that helped me. But like now, I think the other day, I've been like, it's like a circle thing where it's for my mental health, but it also kind of affects my mental health, where I'm like doing all these things and I almost get super overwhelmed. And the other day he asked me, he said, who are you doing this for? Like, what are you trying to prove? And I'm like, well, I just don't want to be average. Like, I don't want to get old and not be able to do the things that I love, or not be able to walk. And I also work at the hospital. So I see kids who don't have the ability to walk, don't have the ability to feed themselves, eat through a feeding tube, like have lost control of some part of their body. And I'm like, my body is fully capable of doing everything right now, and I don't want to lose the ability to do anything.
That is I'm just realizing, guys, that you guys are the first couple that I have on the podcast.
Really?
Yeah, which is pretty cool. And I love what Isaac, right?
Yeah.
What Isaac was saying, because I feel like I get my wife is the same. She started going to the gym now, but she's studying to be a nurse as well. And she's getting into all these healthy habits, and she's always encouraging me and telling me to stop doing certain things, and you need to do this. And I like that. Damn it, I have like mommy issues maybe.
Me too.
Right? Maybe that is because I like it. I love that she takes care of me, and I like feeling that somebody cares about me.
you.
Yeah, which is really cool. So I started like trying to be healthier. That's why I stopped smoking, because of her. Well, actually not because of her, because of my kids. And right, you guys were saying like, why are you doing things? It is insane how much I do for my kids, and I really don't think about myself, right? Because since I don't believe in anything, I don't believe we have a sense of self. I don't think being yourself exists as much. I don't think it's something real. I don't think you are what you think you are, which is crazy, because we keep evolving, we keep changing, so you're not the same person all the time. And because you're not the way you are is, and this is all because I started like listening to philosophers, and I overthink way too much, way too much.
We're on the same
Especially because I used to get high. I used to listen to these things, and
Existential crisis.
kind of like that. Because I used to go to church a lot. My mom is una católica, of course, Latina. Católica. I used to be a monaguillo, which is the people that are like con el padre. I used to go to like retiros and like all this stuff, right?
Oh, nice.
And then I started like I left my mom's house, and I was just like, okay, like let me think of why I believe this. And I was just like, okay, I believe on it, in it, because my mom, or on it, I'm not sure, because my mom taught me these things. I know these things because I was taught. So I started realizing that I'm not myself because I chose. I'm myself because of the experiences that I lived.
Right.
So that made me think that how I am was not really my decision. It was more of like the experiences that I have no control over.
Yeah.
So that makes me think that myself is nothing. I do things for others. I started realizing that doing things for my kids and my wife bring me a lot more joy than doing things for myself. which is crazy, right? Because I hear you guys talking about like I do this for myself and I love that, and I'm like I need to find that.
I think it's for ourselves, but also like him. I think he's asked me like things like, "Oh, can I get a motorcycle?" And I'm like, "Do you want me to get a call at 2 a.m. saying that you crashed your
Hey, no,
motorcycle and I
yeah.
no longer have a partner?"
Yeah,
No.
that's crazy. Yeah.
Like that's my this probably comes from trauma because I lost my mom when I was young. So I'm like, I don't want to lose anyone
yeah.
else that I love. And I think I want all the people around me to be healthy and be better because I don't want to lose them.
No, yeah, no, I feel that. Like I try to tell my friends not to do crazy shit. Like they're always trying to do crazy stuff. We're young, you know, like
You're young, but you're not
and
Superman.
yeah, right. Yeah, no, they're like, ¿a qué venimos a la vida? A descansar en la tumba. Like cosas así. They have their sayings. And then I'm like, no, dude, like, you know, like, why do you want to skydive? I'm like, why? Oh, fuck. I'm like, why do you want to? And I, dude, same thing with that. Having these experiences that get you so close to that means that for me, I think it means you're not really happy. And I take it in a way where like it's like, why would you want to feel so close? That adrenaline that is not supposed to be something that's useful.
Adrenaline junkies.
Yeah. And I'm like, dude, are you not like, is this not happy? Does life not fulfill you enough? And that's why I love my kids. Ever since I was a dad, I felt that for them. It was just like this intense feeling of having them and being with them, and same thing with my wife. It's like an intense feeling, and I'm like, there is nothing that I would do that will make me feel this, like, and I wouldn't risk, you know, like maybe the parachute not opening because I have a family.
Yeah.
Same thing with a motorcycle. I used to want a motorcycle, and I'm like, I don't think I will risk having doing this. I used to drive and drink and drive. I'm ashamed of it. I used to drive while I was intoxicated, and now I'm like, I'm not risking it. I am not doing that.
Your life is so like gentle. You could lose your life in a second.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I used to think different. I used to be like, nah, like, you know, I did it a bunch of times. There was way too many times where I don't remember how I got home. Like I would just wake, and it's insane. I'm always like thinking I will get high, and I'm like, what if I ran somebody over?
Yeah,
and like I
dude,
just got home like nothing, and I don't remember because I was way too drunk. Which I hope I never did. I really do. But like I do. I remember waking up in my bed and being like, I drove. Like my car is out there. Like, you know, like I don't remember anything from like this to this time. And it's crazy.
I get so mad at my friends whenever, like, even my brother sometimes does it. And I'm like, you guys don't understand, like, not only your life, but someone else's life. Like, you never know. I have a friend who lost their partner to a drunk driving accident.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, I will have one drink. If I have two, I'm like, I can't drive.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I take lifts now. I mean, we have all this other shit now,
like,
right?
you have money, or you can call a friend. Like, I've always told him, I'm like, if you didn't plan on drinking and you get drunk, I would rather you call me at 2 a.m. than someone call me and tell me that you're in a hospital. Like,
no, and for people that don't know, if you leave your car downtown and they tow it because you got drunk, when you go to court, you can tell them. They give you a ticket, I think. Only if you get a ticket. If it gets towed, then you're fucked. If you get a ticket, you can go get it dismissed because you tell them, like, oh, I got drunk.
And I wasn't going to drive.
Yeah, I was not going to drive, so I left it there. And they'll dismiss those tickets, you know? And I would rather sleep in my car drunk than drive, to be honest. I would rather wake up there and, like, I don't know, get a ticket. Maybe a cop stops me. But I'm going to tell them I didn't want to drive. But now we lift. Me and my wife, whenever we go out and we know we're going to drink, we take a lift, or we do have a designated driver, you know. Right. They're like, oh, you're gonna get drunk, I'm gonna get drunk. Sometimes she tells me, oh, you can drink, but then she gets drunk. So I try
to be good about that. Like, I'm like, okay, if you're gonna be drinking, I'm not drinking because someone's gotta get home. And then we also have dogs. I don't have kids, but I have 2 dogs, and my anxiety, which I assume is more with the kid, but I'm like, what am I gonna do? What are they gonna do if I don't come home?
You're funny.
I'm like, what are they gonna do if I don't come home? Like my poor Cooper and my Chloe.
Oh, damn, dude, I have a problem with that too. With people that well, I mean, I don't know if you guys humanize dogs, but I have a.
I do, unfortunately.
It just I don't know. It's just weird. I was born. My mom had a farm, and we had like 8 dogs. They were all outside dogs. One of them was the one inside, which was like a little Chihuahua. It was little, you know. And they're cool. They're cool. But I never understood. And this is because I lived like that. I guess I'm biased to my experiences. Animals to me are animals, and they will stay outside. We don't treat them bad. We treat them like animals, but they don't get in the couch. They don't get in the bed. It's just things that I feel like, you know, like as we started like normalizing it way too much. And I had a dog, and I used to do it when I first got my dog. He died. It was sad. I actually was sad because he was when I moved out of my mom's, he was the only I was gonna say person. He was the only animal, I guess I could say.
Companion.
Companion. There you go. Yeah, he stayed with me when I lived by myself after I moved out of my mom's house. And I moved from apartment to apartment, and he was there with me all the time. I used to run a lot with him. He would actually make me, because of him, I would exercise. I'm the type of person that likes to have a good dog. So I looked it up.
Yeah.
Around those times. It was YouTube, like, oh, how do I train my dog? And they need exercise, they need a walk, they need, like, all these things are good for them. So I started doing that. I started running with him. I started like training him, like teaching him how to do like even little tricks. And it was really satisfying for me. But then I realized that, again, I feel like having animals is kind of like a distraction from what life should really be for you.
That's interesting.
Yeah. And damn it, I don't want to say this, but like I feel like we are just meant to have kids.
Simon,
See,
I think
can't.
I think it's you were saying earlier, like, I think it's crazy that you guys can do it for yourself, but for you find like a lot of like taking care of your babies makes you happy. And I think it obviously that comes down to like the natural, like our natural human instincts, where it's like you have a baby and it's like you hear this a lot of people say, like, I've never loved something so much
for no reason.
Like it's something that's a part of me is like out here, and it's like I live to serve you. I live to take care of you. I live to protect you. So I think, naturally you're going to feel this way because this is your experience right now with like your baby. And it's like, you really can't stop. Like it's 100% of the time, or, you share with your partner, obviously with your wife. But at the end of the day, like you're thinking about them regardless. Like every second,
Everything has to come
every
back to
second
them.
of the day, everything has to come back to them. But I think in somewhere in there, there are things that you're doing for yourself.
I feel like this is for myself.
Yeah, like
I mean,
that's
this
what I
is
was gonna
apart from
say.
them.
When you said like, well, now I get to paint this wall. It's like you did that for yourself, not for your kids. Like, yes, they get to add to it and experience part of that, but for you to express yourself and do the things that you love and express the things that you love, like this is you doing it for yourself. And I think you having this podcast, like you did that for yourself because you thought about yourself. You
Something you enjoy,
thinking about like stopping to drink or stopping to smoke. Like, yes, your wife encouraged you and she's telling you to maybe consider this, but I think at the end of the day you make that decision for yourself on a day-to-day basis. And I think you think about, who am I going to be if I stop this, or who am I supposed to be when I stop doing this? And I think, first of all, I'm proud of you because it's like you're killing it, dude. You make multiple episodes and you got a good setup going.
It does feel a lot better when a human says it.
Yeah.
Because ChatGPT be telling me, "Oh, you're doing good. You're proud." And I'm like, okay, cool. But like when somebody says it, it just feels that human interaction. We need it, right?
Validation.
I don't want to say that we for everybody to have kids. I actually always tell people not to have kids. So don't have kids. And I just say that because of the world we're living in, not because of I don't want people to like not have kids. But I understood that or for me it was felt like the most and that's why I say that I feel like we're just here to have kids. That's like our main purpose, to just reproduce. Having kids has felt the most natural, the most human, I guess I could say, to me than anything else. Anything else that I do in life does not I question it, and I'm sure like people. I mean, I don't know if this happens to you guys, but like I love my job, but there's times where I'm like, I don't think I'm meant to do this. Like I don't think this is why I'm here.
This can't be all.
Yeah, exactly. Like working and making money. Like sometimes I'm like in my home, in my house, and I'm like, I would rather much live like out in the wild, to be honest. Like and like I don't know, in the forest. Like I see these movies and animes where they're like fishing and like building and like, oh, we're chopping wood and I'm just like, that's such a cool life. Like maybe I was meant to be out. Yeah, maybe I was meant to be. Maybe we were meant to be outside more than inside, and like maybe we were meant to like explore and create. I like traveling. I've seen that you guys have done a lot of traveling. Traveling is just so cool, meeting other people, other cultures, and I'm like, I feel like that's what we're meant to do, not to like have a job. And like they even have like this ladder for you to follow in life, which is like, go to school, college, get a job, a wife, car, kids. Like it's just like they have it for you all set up, and I'm just like, I don't think we're meant for that. And having kids, I've never doubted that. I've never been like, maybe I'm not meant to be a dad, because it's just so natural. It's just such a good feeling of seeing your kids doing things, and you live through them. Actually, I've actually realized that that is one of the main things about being a dad, is living things through them. You see the enjoyment that they have in such simple things, and you don't see it like that as an adult. Like they will like grab a water bottle and pour it on the floor and have so much fun doing that. And to me, it's just like, if I pour a water bottle, I'm like, "Well, I gotta clean it
I
up."
gotta clean-
Yeah. So like, it's those things. And like, I'm like, dude, maybe they are the true humans. They are the true. Their essence is what being a human is. But then we start
getting biased and changing our minds. And
no, we start how would I say it? Los empezamos como que meter a la sociedad, so they start being a certain type of way. So they start following rules. Which rules are good, right? They're good. They have to have rules. But like, we start shaping them in a way for them to fit in a society that is not too good right now. So that's why I'm like, don't have kids.
I mean, it's interesting to hear you say all that, because I work with kids, so I love kids, but I don't know that I'm meant to be a mom. And like, even though that's in like my natural human instinct, like, I have no desire to be pregnant, to go through labor,
Oh yeah.
to be in that newborn phase. Like, it's beautiful, but it's also not.
Yeah. Oh
So
yeah.
it's so interesting to hear your perspective on it. Obviously, it's different because you're a guy and I'm a girl.
Of course, yes.
And the girl takes the whole toll of being pregnant.
Oh yeah. Shout out my wife, dude.
Yeah.
Two kids, dude. Oh my god, I was there, crazy. I tell her, I can't believe you. You're amazing. I feel like, actually, yo siento que las mujeres son Dios. I really do. I worship her, because dude, I would not. I see that, and then she's like, "Oh, let's have another one." I'm like, "Dude, you're crazy, because that was insane. Like, you went, like, her eyes was red, her vessels popped because of all the pressure and like all this stuff."
Yeah.
And then I don't know. I was just like, "Dude, you." Shout out to her, for real.
I mean, you were saying earlier, like, you don't understand how people can want to get so close to death. And I don't know if you realize this, but going through labor puts a woman as close to death as she will ever be, besides when she's actually dying.
Yeah, that's why I call her crazy, because I'm like, what do you mean you want another one? You were dying. She was like, get this kid out of me. Like, she was like, and I was just like, you want another one? Like, oh, that's crazy.
It's scary. I mean, I also don't want to bring kids into this world right now.
Yeah,
like,
no, yeah.
It's ugly out there. And not only that, it's expensive. And then racism. And like, we live in an apartment. Like, I always tell everyone, I'm like, I don't want to bring a kid into like an apartment. I don't want to bring a kid into somewhere where I can't take care of them.
Yeah, I used to live in an apartment. It was fun. I used to play a lot with the kids in the apartments. That's what I like. Here,
smaller space.
I like this neighborhood, but they're nothing but retired people.
This neighborhood is beautiful.
Thanks. I'm the only one with the ugly ass grass. No, there's people with ugly grass. I just get lazy. No. But there's a lot of retired people. So like, on Halloween, now that it's coming, we have to like go all the way down, because there's not that many kids here. So like, they don't do much.
Yeah.
They don't decorate as much, because it's retired people. They're not gonna be on ladders,
Yeah.
So like, we have to go a little bit more down, and I used to like apartments because everybody had kids there, and I remember having like I didn't even know the kids. Some kids didn't even know us, and they would go knock on our door and like, hey, like, salgan a jugar. And we will play, and I think that's pretty cool. I feel like that is such a cool thing about apartments. I don't think it's that bad. I do like how I started. It's crazy how we upgraded a little bit. My mom lived in a somewhat poor house, I'm gonna say, and then she moved up to apartments, which was a luxury apartment, which is a little bit better. And now my kids are gonna have they have a house, right? And I'm like, that's crazy, because you kind of set up like something a standard for them. So for them, I feel like a house or like this type of environment is like what they're gonna be looking for. And I love that humans adapt so well to things when they're living their lives. You were mentioning about not wanting to be a mom, and I didn't want to be a dad. I remember being in high school and being like, dude, I don't want kids. Like, I took care of my brothers. Maybe that's one of the reasons. And I was just like, I don't want to have kids. And I never did. Never did. But now that I have them, it's beautiful. I feel like it's one of those things where you like, once it's happening, and you can relate it to some other things, right? I feel like not all the time you want to go to the gym or run, but then you start doing it, and it's just like, oh, well,
it's something you gotta do.
Yeah. So I feel like it's kind of like that. but it's much more rewarding, especially when you're raising good human beings.
Yeah.
There's a lot of parents that are like, I'll be judgy too on that.
Yeah.
I'll be judging a lot of
No,
things too.
I get to see so many different kinds of kids at work, and I'm like, some of them, like, I'm like, I admire these parents because they raise their kids and they're kind humans, and like, there's also those kids who will literally cuss at their doctors and nurses, and
Oh,
I'm like,
dude, that's
who raised
crazy.
you? Like,
Yeah.
my mom would have murdered me in the hospital room. Like, I don't know. And everyone parents so differently, and I think it all goes back again to like how you were raised and how your parents raised you.
Yeah.
And I've never lived in a house. Like I grew up in a mobile home,
Okay.
and that's like as big of a house as I've ever known. So I feel like my standard, like I obviously didn't, not that I didn't like it, but all my friends had houses.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't bring my friends over to my tiny little mobile home because it just like, it felt like I didn't have enough, and I don't want to bring kids in and make them feel like they didn't have enough.
Oh, okay.
It's trauma. It
It is
but
definitely- yeah.
I think it goes to show back to what you're saying. Like, we are based on the experiences that we had. You know, like, we didn't really have an option, like, to, can I just go live over there at this house? But it's like, it goes to show the place that you surround yourself with, the people that you surround yourself with. It's kind of like who you're making yourself out to be until you get to a point where it's like, okay, well, I don't want to be this person anymore, or I want to strive for better, I want to be better, and for myself, but also for my children. You know, even if you do or don't have children, I think I want to be better for her, or I want to be better for, you know, maybe later in the future. You know, I'm setting myself up for what's to come in the future. This home is great, dude.
Yeah.
I try to be a good person. I like to think that I'm a good human being. I do like to help out. I wish I had more money to help other people out. Like, to be honest, I wish I could like have time at least, you know, like to like go to do charity or like some stuff like that. But I don't. I feel like at the end of the day, I kind of do have to be selfish because I have a family to take care of, and that's what matters to me the most. And it's crazy because I've always thought that humans would grow and we can be better if we start helping each other. That actually, dude, it's crazy because I don't believe in religion, but a lot of the religion stuff that I was taught, I think it's good. You know,
Yeah.
I also think that putting your kids in religion is actually kind of good because it teaches them certain type of values, which is really good, dude. They have good values, you know, like love your neighbor,
Yeah.
like don't lie, don't steal. Like, I think that's a really good thing. I also think it's lazy parenting to just leave them
Throw
to the
them in the
church,
church,
and
yeah.
let them teach them. You're supposed to do that. But I think it's really good that they have this type of like moral thing going on, and I like it. I encourage it. Like, if you're in church and you're actually doing something good, I think it's pretty cool. But I started like not believing in God mostly. I like society. I like society. I just don't believe in like our presidents and our like politics and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They be playing some type of game.
For sure.
Everyone has alternate motives.
Money rules the world.
Money,
you know?
yes, and I don't like that. But I forgot where I was going with this. Damn it. I totally forgot because I started thinking about money. I hate money.
I mean, don't we all? But money
But we
doesn't
need
buy
it.
anything that you actually need. Like, I'm in the whole DACA
Okay,
situation,
yes.
and I'm like, I'll give you the money.
That's
but-
what I was going. That was my point. Because you were mentioning about not wanting to take your friends and
To our home.
yeah. And one of the things that I've loved about me ever since I was a kid, I guess, was that I never really cared what I had, and I feel like it was most of it because I didn't have much. So like, it wasn't really like there was nothing to care about. I had a lot. I had my mom gave me everything I needed. Right?
Oh, nice.
Which was more than enough. And I felt like that actually helped me realize that I didn't really need to show anybody anything. Like, you know, like I took my friends, we lived in a studio, and it was like three of my mom and my three brothers in a studio. It was like really small. And I took my friends there a bunch of times, dude. It was like 2 beds, and you know, studios are like so small.
Yeah.
Like, you know, there's really no much space, and I took them there. We didn't really have much to play with, but like my mom would buy us puzzles and stuff, so we would do that, and I was never really ashamed. And I try to teach my kids that, and that's why I love that you should doubt. I'm always telling people you should doubt and you should question why you think certain things should be certain ways. And it took me a while, and I was good on some things, but I was really bad on some other things. Fitting in has to be one of the things where you really have to like understand what fitting in is. Like you try to fit in, you try to be a part of something. I remember in high school, and I regret this a lot. I remember buying Jordans. I remember buying like all these brands,
Sperry's.
spending money, brands, and I'm like, why? Why did I want? Why did I need all these things? Why did I want to show my friends that I could do these things when we really didn't have money? Like I
Yeah.
could have saved that money. I could have, even for myself, I could have done something better with that money, but I wanted to buy these $300 shoes that ended up in the trash. Like, so now, like, I try to teach my kids. I'm like, dude, because they're like, oh, yeah, like, all my kids don't have, my 10-year-old, she says that everybody in her class has an iPhone. And I'm like, that's insane, right? And kind of normal, I guess, in these times.
No.
But it's crazy. And we're like, oh, no, you're going to have to wait a little bit. And she's like, but like, everybody has it. I'm the only one that doesn't. And I'm like, dude, is that trying to fit? Like, you see all these things and you want to be a part of it too.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I feel like it has to be, you have to feel that you belong at home in order to like not fall into like all this other things. And I understood that way late. ChatGPT helped me with that too.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
no. It's crazy, dude. It's crazy. Because it and still I feel like we still kind of fall into it because money. That's what it does. Going to the gym, there's this thing like, oh, si no pusiste foto, like no fuiste. Like
Yeah.
all these other things. I used to go to the gym and I used to run and I used to post pictures, but then it started feeling really weird to me. I was like, why am I posting pictures? Like, am I really doing this for me or am I doing this for attention? I used to have a personal Instagram and I used to post things. I used to post a lot of things, my stories and things. And then I started realizing I don't think I like validation as much as I like. I feel like it can get to you too.
Mm-hmm.
You can start feeling
Yes.
some type of way. You start feeling important. You're not that important. I feel like you should be humbled. You should stay humble and be like, okay, yeah, I have a lot of views, but like I'm still, everybody's the same.
Mm-hmm.
I'm lucky that I've invited a bunch of people that are grounded. Like they have a
Mhm.
lot of followers. They make really good content, but they're still a person, I guess.
Mhm.
They're
Yeah, I
still.
think that's what the biggest thing is like don't lose yourself in something like that. Like,
I always say comparison is the thief of joy.
yeah.
Oh
You know,
yeah.
you
Oh
just
yeah.
you take all the good stuff out of it as soon as you start like stepping out of yourself and seeing like what everybody else has that you don't have.
Mm-hmm.
It's like with literally anything. You could be a dad and it's like, well, look at what this other parent's doing. I'm doing golf and it's like, well, all these other people have all this time and all this money
Oh
and
yeah.
like now I'm starting to hate. I'm trying to be a hater, or it's like I hate that. I'm like, well, now I'm just being a hater. Like now I'm just like not
Not even
focusing on
enjoying it,
myself, and
yeah.
that's like
Yeah.
not fun. As soon as
Yeah.
as soon as I start getting mad, then nothing becomes fun anymore.
Mm.
It's like no, I hate that. You're right. That it's like we're just trying to like socialize, and we're seeing all these people, but it's like that's not what we were meant to do. We were just kind of meant to talk, hear each other out, like
Yes.
go through this life together, and it's like what's working for you and like what's working for you.
I
So
mean, Valeria, as a content creator, I feel like that. I mean, you get a lot of attention, right?
Yeah, I mean, yes and no. I just recently started doing content. Like at first I was just filming for fun. I think the biggest thing that I like filmed and it kind of took off was talking about DACA
Mm.
actually on TikTok. Like I didn't realize how many people I didn't know were DACA. And like I think that's where I kind of took it and ran with it because it's like I've always not been ashamed of being DACA, but haven't necessarily been proud because people can get ugly when you start talking about you're not from here or you came into the US and you're not here as a US citizen or a resident or whatever. So I feel like it validates me to know that there's other people out there who can relate to me, but it's also scary to put yourself out there like that. Like I've gotten comments that are like, "Oh, I'm going to call ICE on you." And I'm like, you guys have too much time on your hands and me making this video doesn't do anything to you. Like you are not affected by any of it.
I feel bad for people like that, dude. Me dan lástima, la neta. Toda la gente que tira mucho hate, I just really feel like they're not happy. Like
Yeah.
if you were happy, you wouldn't be doing stuff like that. It's insane, dude. The hate is one of the things. That's why I actually stopped posting my kids online as well.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of not only just hateful people, but like creeps. I tell my wife the same thing. She has like pages for them, but she puts them in private and on the
Okay.
family and stuff. I started being against sharing a lot of my life online too. Although I talk about my life and my opinions on here, right, which is kind of hypocritical of me.
It's all
But
good.
they would have to invest their time to listen to what you're saying, you know?
True,
Like,
true. And most of the pods are like an hour and a half, and people
Oh,
that
sick.
I feel like a lot of people are just like looking at TikToks because they're short and
Short
like, you know,
attention span.
yeah, and you're like, oh, I can throw some hate really quick.
Little clip.
Yeah,
Clip
yeah.
that.
No, I don't like social media. I don't, dude. I don't like anything in life. I don't like traffic. Dude, I
Oh
fucking
my
you
hate
God.
seem like the
traffic.
most simple
No,
human.
and that's
Like,
what I'm saying. You're very
you would
like
be so
neutral.
happy
I think,
and just
yeah, I think you and me would get along like very well outside of here.
Let's be
Like,
friends,
you're
bro.
like neutral, and it's like, well, if this and this, if not, then whatever.
he's very
you
black
know?
and white. Like,
Dude,
I'll
it's-
have a situation and I'm like, I'm having this problem, and he's like, okay, well, it's this or it's this, and I'm
Yeah.
like, no, but there's like 50 other things that you have to think about, and he's like, no, yes or no, and I'm like,
Yeah, no,
No.
and I would agree with both of you guys. I feel like I see black and white, but I know that the way that I think is not absolute as well.
Yeah.
As well. That's what I'm saying. Questioning yourself is one of the things that makes you grow the most. Because you are not always right. You are not always, because you're biased to your own opinions. Of course, people are gonna. That's why I feel like a lot of Trump supporters and like people that like support politics. They don't question why they're doing things, or
Right.
like even like a lot of people are religious, and that's why they vote red. You know, because they're that's the conservative party, and like, oh, my family has always done that, so like I'm gonna do that. And I'm just like, oh, that's crazy. Like, you don't really
think
question.
about
Yeah,
what
like,
it. I have this conversation. I have a really close friend who was raised Republican, and obviously she learned a lot about me, and she's like, well, you've taught me a lot, and like I don't necessarily agree with all of the Republican policies, and she's like, I think more about how I'm voting when I'm voting now rather than just voting Republican, because my family's always voted Republican, and I think that's what we're missing. Like, people don't know how to form their own opinions. They just go with what they've been
Yeah.
raised and what they've experienced. I have another friend who is running into the issue where this person only knows Republican values, and they're like, well, you should figure it out. Like, nobody owes you anything. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, but again, to be a good person, like, you have to think about everyone else except yourself. Like, it's not just about you. Just because it doesn't affect you doesn't mean it doesn't affect thousands of other people, you know? And that's my biggest thing. I'm like, I care about people. I don't care who you are, where you came from, or what you're
Oh, I
doing.
love
Like,
that.
you are just a person, and you deserve what every other person deserves,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And the biggest thing is like, obviously my biggest issue is like, oh, well, you're not from here. It doesn't matter. You were born on this side of this line, and you were lucky that your mom made it across and had you here, whereas my mom didn't make it across and had me in Mexico.
not
like
in time. 2 years.
Right. And we live the same life. Like, we connect very well because we have the same experiences. Like, we were raised the same, and our parents were basically in the same situation. We both live in the same, like, our parents lived in the same neighborhood. So we share a lot of lived experiences, whereas he was born here and I wasn't. So how does that make us any different, you know?
No, yeah, that make, I think the same. Yo quiero decir que la gente siento que tienen miedo de cambiar.
Yes.
There was this one, creo que lo leí en un libro, that it's really scary, and I understand it, right? When you are born, when you're raised, it's kind of like a building, right? Like every year is like you're a floor, and when somebody comes and tells you, dude, like your third floor is wrong, it is really hard for them to tear that floor down, because then they lose a sense of identity. Like they're like, dude,
Structure, yeah.
see, like you're telling me that if my third floor is wrong, that means that all the other ones might be wrong. So they end up like not knowing what's going on. And as humans, we're kind of scared of the unknown. That's why scary stuff gives you is scary, because
Yeah.
we don't understand it. That's why I like to watch these videos on TikTok on, ¿cómo se llaman esos videos? Uncanny, creo que se llaman. They're like weird videos of like,
That make you uncomfortable.
yes, I like watching that, right? And it's because, and ChatGPT, you know, as I asked ChatGPT, hey, why does it feel like that? You know, like there was this one video that I saw of this, there was a dark room, and it was like a white door, and it was like dirty, and then it opened, and like some guy that was bald, pale, with like dark socket eyes, and like the kind of deformed long limbs, and bald, like with no genitals because he was naked. And I asked ChatGPT, like, why does it feel so weird? And it's just, it's because as humans, you don't understand what you're seeing, and your brain, you know, starts like panicking, like, hey, you need to like stop doing this because it's weird. So I feel like people feel like that when they start losing a sense of identity, and you tell them, dude, you're wrong. And they're like, dude, I was raised this way, and now you're telling me that it's wrong. That means like my whole life I was wrong. And they're scared of that. And I understand it, right? But like you have to want to be a better human. You have to help others.
And there's growth in the uncomfortable.
There is, dude, that's how we grow. That's how we change. I tell my friends, because I have a few friends as well. And I like to use my friend Alan. Shout out to Alan as an example. He had a hard time stopping himself from using the N word. Because we were raised on an environment where we used it all the time. It was common, like, teníamos amigos morenos y los usábamos con ellos.
Yeah.
Ellos nos decían, so we used it. So now we're old, and for him it's just a little bit harder because he's like, dude, it's just a word.
Yeah.
I've had friends and they're okay with it, and I'm just like, okay, yeah, but your friends are okay with it, but like maybe other people are not, and it's a bad word, and we try to like we have a talk about it, and we're like, dude, there's things that as a kid you stop doing because you realize that they were wrong.
Right.
And when you were a kid, you probably didn't want to stop doing it, but you realized it's wrong, so you changed it, and that's how you became a better person. So it's like it's all about that. It's all about realizing what other people might not like, and you being respectful, not like
Not changing to please, but
Yes.
changing to be a good person.
yeah, just respect others. Like there might be somebody that gets offended by it, and you should stop saying it. And I tell them, bro, like if you tell me if there's anything that offends you that I tell you, I will stop. I'm not gonna be like, oh no, pues yo soy libre de decir lo que yo quiera. If you tell me like, hey bro, like me dices pendejo, no me gusta, if it offends me, I'm gonna stop telling you that. Like sometimes it slips out. Like I call my friends like that, like playing around,
Yeah.
like just. Siento que los mexicanos son muy de decirse cosas.
Agresivo.
Güey, sí, güey, estás bien pendejo. Like, but playing around, right? But like, if I ever have a friend tell me like, hey, dude, like that actually I don't like it, I'm gonna stop. I'm like, it's just a respectful thing, and I feel like that's what we're missing a lot: being respectful to others and thinking about others. And a little bit ago I was saying that if I was a millionaire, I would probably vote for Trump. And I'm just saying that because I'm not rich. I don't have millions, so I don't know. So maybe
Yeah.
if I was rich, I would be in that mindset as well. Which I hope that if I ever reach
$1 million.
wealth like that, I stay humble and I think things through. I like to always reference this movie Interstellar. I don't know if you guys have ever watched it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's
There's amazing movie. There is this explanation that I think it was I forgot who it was. They gave it to Matthew McConaughey, and where he's like, dude, we all are born with a circle that we take care of, which is your family, and in order for humanity to grow, you have to start taking your circle has to expand. So you have to see your neighbor as your neighbor's kids as your kid, and your neighbors as your brother, and you have to expand to everyone. You have to, like, because I respect my kids, I'm gonna respect other kids. Because I respect my wife, I'm gonna respect other women. Because I respect my mom, so that's how it's supposed to be. We're supposed to like all take care of each other and all be one. But it's just so divided nowadays. There's so much shit, and people don't see it. People like, I don't know why. It's so simple. It's just like, why?
I mean, I always say don't do anything to anyone else that you wouldn't want anyone to do to you or to your family. Like,
yeah.
my brothers, I've always told them, like, I've been cheated on before, and I'm like, you don't do that to anyone else.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, if you didn't like seeing me go through that, don't do it to anyone else, Like, it's just kind of like, don't be a shitty person.
It kind of makes sense, right? I mean, to me, in my head, it makes sense. I'm always like, damn, like, ¿por qué la gente odia tanto a los latinos? ¿Por qué los güeros? Es que los güeros también, damn, dude, no sé, me gustaría ser güero para entenderlos. No he hablado, nunca he tenido aquí, actually, no, my boss, yeah, traje a mi patrón aquí a platicar conmigo. All he talks about is money, though. No me gusta, because I feel like that's all they think about. Eso es todo. Y él es papá, tiene también 3 hijos, y está loquísimo como ellos ponen el dinero arriba de sus hijos. Like, I was like talking about like, oh, hey, like, like, I know you work a lot, dude. You have a company and you're buying all these things, all these properties. Like, when do you have time for your kids? And he's like, no, I don't really see them. Like, like su niña tiene creo 12 años y no la conoce. And I'm like, that is insane.
It's because they put they equate love to money.
They
Like,
do.
I can buy you a trip, I can buy
Yeah.
you all the whatever, all the nice things, and you'll know I love you, you know, and that's just
Él estaba hablando más de, ¿cómo se dice? Wealth que se pasa.
generational wealth
That was his, I guess his excuse.
to try
He
to
was
build
like,
them.
yeah, he was like, I have to live my family, my grandkids' money. So I'm doing it. I'm sacrificing. But to me, it's just like, no, dude, pregúntale a tus hijos. Like, ask your kids, and they're going to tell you that they rather would have you
Right.
spend time with them than give them some type of. And if they tell you that they want material stuff, it's because ya los
You raise them
corrompiste.
that way.
Ya los corrompiste. They want that. I asked my kids because I used to work. I do remodeling.
Oh, nice.
And I had a company for a year, and I kind of do like to brag. I'd made a bunch of money that year, dude, a bunch. So just like, damn, like, by myself. I was like, but fue cuando mi esposa tuvo mi primera niña, mi segunda niña. I missed a year and a half of my kid, a year and a half. And it was insane to me because I was like, I hardly see them. Like, I don't spend. Y luego ya mi esposa también me empezó a decir, dude, like, I needed you so much. But I couldn't tell you because we have bills. Like, she understood as well, but she was going, ¿cómo se llama esto que pasan después de que tienen hijos?
Postpartum depression.
Yeah, all these things, like, you know, like just having, dude, being with kids, it's amazing, but it's tiring. You need adults around you to be good.
Socialize.
Dude. Yeah, dude. Kids are like, kids are cool, right? Like, I love my kids, but like, you cannot spend, and she was doing it. You cannot be with just a kid all day, every day for a whole year. It will drive you crazy. You need another adult, and I was not there. I
Yeah.
had to make money. So, you know, after that year of making good money, I was like, okay, I can go back to being work for somebody. I don't mind. I actually like working for people. I enjoy. I don't want to be the CEO of anything. I really don't. I want to work my hours, have my days off, and
Yeah,
and
balance.
enjoy life. Yeah, if I want to, because dude, when I was running my company, I didn't have no free time. Not even for this. Not even for working out. Customers are always calling you, and on the weekends at 10 at night, like, hey, I have a question about the cabinets that you install. Dude, it's 10 at night or in the morning, because a lot of them are retired too, and they call you like at 6 in the morning, like, hey, about this problem, and I'm like, dude, you have to answer because it's your company.
Yeah.
You can't just let it go. So I didn't have any free time. I didn't like it, so I was just like, I'm just gonna go back to working for somebody. I'd rather be my friends that judge me so much about it. They were like, dude, like, how are you gonna go back to being a regular working for making somebody's dream? And I'm like, I don't care, dude. Like, my family's good. Like, I
Because you
spend time
can
with
work
them.
to live, not live to work.
Yes. With the profession that you guys got into, like, I was curious, how did you guys ended up doing that?
I ended up in nursing. I don't know. I think I always wanted to do healthcare because I like to know the why. Like, I want to know why the body works the way it was. And I would like to know why things happen. And I think I also always wanted to help people. That's so cheesy. But I always wanted to do something where I was being a good person and helping others. So I went into nursing. Originally, I thought I wanted to be a doctor. And then I realized that, like, the things that I wanted out of a job were more in the nurse scope rather than a doctor. Like, nurses spend most time with patients, and like,
They do everything.
yeah, we get to do all the things. Like, we
yeah.
do the procedures, we take care of the patients, we get to know them. Like, we get to do so much more. Whereas, yes, the doctor knows more, and obviously their scope is much more complicated, but they don't get that interaction with the patient as much. So, and then my mom got sick, and I was in the hospital for a long time, and her nurses were amazing. So I was like, I thought I wanted to work oncology at one point, and I was like, I enjoyed having a good nurse, and I was like, I want to be a good nurse.
Yeah, I want to make that difference.
That's how I ended up in nursing, and then
What about you, bro? Was that your dream job?
I think I'm the same way with like health. I think if you talk to anybody who works in like medicine or healthcare, you'll have like the same background story with like something happened to somebody and they wanted to be that change. And it was the same way for me. I think just being in an accident with my mom when I was just a baby, and I think just small memories of that made me want to be a part of like healthcare and medicine. And I've always loved science growing up. I've always been a nerd, like, you know, what's in space and like what's in the dirt, like if we were to dig down, how many fossils could I find? So I just dove into the science, and I originally started saying I wanted to be a surgeon, just surgery is just such a cool thing to do.
Oh, yeah.
Being able to
Open up people.
open
And
up
put a body back
people
together.
and put it back
It is
together,
instinctive,
and
isn't it?
help
Oh my
them.
God.
There's just so many things going on that you could impact a life like that. And I think when I realized that you would essentially have to spend millions of dollars or thousands of dollars, or essentially spend your entire life working to be a surgeon, and put up with so many different kinds of things. I was like, well, maybe I still want to do that, but maybe there's a different way that I could do things, or maybe there's a way that I could put myself in the space and see if that's what I really wanted to do. So I went to ACC, went for like 2 years, post COVID, and I got like my certification for surgical technology, and I got an associate's in health sciences. And I think like that was enough for me. Like, okay, well, let me go live out my life now. So like, I think I started at like 22-ish, because that's post COVID, graduated 2019. So it's just kind of like, okay, well, let me start my life and let me figure out what I want to do. And now I work at the hospital, and now that I do what I do, it's like, okay, well, the surgeons get to operate, but so do I in a way. I get to be there for these traumas. I get to, build the table for them. I get to get all the instruments together, and I get to,
Help them.
I still get to talk to these patients
Oh,
when
yeah.
they're coming in awake, and I get to talk to them, and I see a Latino every now and then, and it's like, I know that as soon as they see me and they hear my Spanish voice, like, hola, mucho gusto, mi nombre es Isaac, voy a asistir en la cirugía con ustedes hoy. And they're like, oh, mucho gusto, es un placer.
Gracias
And
a
it's
Dios que
like-
hablas español.
And it's like,
Dude.
like that does it for me. And it's like, okay, well, like,
Yeah.
you're here, you're safe, and you're in my hands, and I got you. Yeah, the surgeon has you, and that's your doctor, but know that I'm going to give you my 100%. So it's like, okay, well, I work in surgery. I'm doing what I love. I love science. It's like, well, there has to be something else now, So just,
yeah.
I love my job, and I love what I do, and I'm going to give it 100%. But, work is not everything to me. Like, at the end of the day, I want to spend my life the way that I want to, and I want to
Oh,
spend
yeah.
it with her, So hopefully one day.
I love it.
Yeah, so
No,
just one day.
that's amazing. I love education. I wish I would have been better. I was a smart person, a kid. And I feel like I'm still pretty smart. I graduated from high school, went to UTSA for a little bit, but then dropped out because it was expensive.
Yeah.
And then I came back and started working. And then I decided, I was like, oh, I'm gonna go. I wanted to be a mechanic. I something about working with cars. Even now, I do all the maintenance in my cars,
Nice.
and there's something about being greasy and like oh no,
Getting your hands in there and fixing things.
something, yeah.
Too fast, too furious.
Yeah, something like that,
That's what
bro.
did it for
I
me.
don't know. There's something satisfying about it, and like, well, cars interest me the way that the body interests you guys, I guess, because it's amazing how like all the little parts that go into it, and like the how the machine works, to be honest. Which the body is so. Now that my wife is telling me like all these things, I'm just like, that is amazing. The body is. I feel like I believe in God sometimes. It's just incredible.
yeah.
It's just incredible how everything is the way that it is in our body. I don't know nothing about my body though, which is crazy because it's me, right? Like I should know, but I don't. But like, I was curious. I feel like that's why remodeling was a big thing for me as well. I wanted to know how house worked, what's behind the walls, how where the water goes, and like how like everything that has to do with the house. So I started doing that. I've been doing it for 14 years now.
Wow.
And I want to quit. I love it, but I want to do all the things.
There's always something else to work on.
Yes, I just wanna. I wish I could get paid to like try different jobs every year. Like I really like, and I am confident in my ability of always being good at whatever I do.
Yeah.
I've always told. I had my boss here, and he like telling me about the company and how much money he makes, and he's like, oh yeah, like last year we made 3.2 million, like something like that. And I was like, dude, give me your job, give me 4 months, and I will probably make more than that. Oh, don't get mad. So like it's always just the confidence of like any job that I do, I'm always gonna be really good at it, and I'm always gonna want to be the best at it. I remember being in high school and working at fast food restaurants. I worked at Burger King, at Wendy's. I worked at McDonald's. In every job, it took me like 2-3 months to be like a manager. In Burger King, I even became a store manager. They opened a store and they were like, "Oh, we want you to do." It was just so easy. It was just so easy. And then I actually did CNA as well. I went to school for it, but helping it was not for me, guys. I don't know.
It's hard. It's hard
It
mostly.
takes a lot out of you.
Which is why I like kids though, because they want to be, well, most of the time they want to be helped. Whereas adults, like if you do something wrong,
That's what my wife says.
adults don't want to be helped, and like they're gonna yell at you, and if you don't do something right, they're gonna complain, and then you're gonna get in trouble. Like kids are so resilient. Like,
Yeah, my
they
wife
have a different perspective of life.
I think my wife wants to work with kids as well. She's just like, dude, I want to help somebody that
Wants to be helped.
not only that didn't do anything to deserve this, right? Because she's like, because an adult, like, you knew smoking was bad, but you decided to keep doing it. So now you're messed up, and she's like, that's your fault. And she's like, but kids, dude, kids don't want things. You know, kids, it's an accident or something happens, so it's just them. She's like, I want to help kids, and I think that's really cool. She just says that because then she does help adults as well.
Yeah, of course.
But I'm telling you guys, like, I mean, how long have you guys been doing this for?
I've been there for 5 years.
5 years. Okay.
I'm doing it less than a year, but
Cool,
you know,
cool,
it's
cool.
like you dedicate your making your career, or you dedicate like your future to like, okay, well, this is how I'm gonna build like everything that I'm working on. You know,
yeah.
that's
No.
that's what my morals are gonna be moving forward.
Yeah,
It's like,
no, it's pretty cool. I feel like like I said, I like my job. I don't complain about it. I enjoy it. It's dirty. Something about being dirty.
yeah,
I feel like
yeah.
you know, I don't know. My wife was like, it's demanding you.
Yes.
And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know why, but I just like it. I like building things with my hands. Like I like doing things with my hands. I like uh, um, pretty much exploring and knowing new things.
And learning, yeah.
Learning, dude, I love it. I wish I could go to school and be a nurse for a few years and then be like, okay, I'm done with this.
It's
Like,
hard. Nursing school
oh my God,
is
don't tell
so
me.
No,
No, I see my
hard.
wife, dude. She stays up until 2 a.m. studying. Oh, I have a test on Tuesday, and I'm like, dude, it's Tuesday. You have a whole week.
All right,
Yeah,
but imagine building an engine.
Yeah,
Like imagine how hard it is to build an engine.
Yeah, but that's different because if the engine goes wrong, it's just a car. This
No,
is
that's
a
true.
person.
no, that's true.
Oh, yeah,
Someone's life.
Yeah. No, and being a nurse is, estabas diciendo like the satisfaction of helping people. Como sociedad siempre tenemos eso. We wanna feel, and this comes to being included and feeling part of. Dude, I get a good feeling of. So we remodel houses, right? And most of these houses, people live in them already. So we get there and we are like, oh, okay. They're like, oh, we want to like remodel the whole house or the living room at least, right? And people with money, the people with money are so cool. And they're like, oh yeah, we want to like tear this wall down and do this and put some other lights and you know we want a fireplace because we don't have a fireplace. I'm like, dude, it's Texas. Why do you want a fireplace?
It's hot.
People want a fireplace. You know, that family picture thing I guess is in their head. And so I'm like, okay, we do everything, we tear everything down, and after we're done, we give the customers 2 months to live in the house while after it's been remodeled, and then they send us a message to fix any issues that they've seen, any things that they don't like.
Cool.
Small things, of course, like, oh, you know, this baseboard is kind of crooked, or like, oh, there's this texture here in the wall, it's kind of like not good, or this light is flicking, you know, whatever. So we go back after 2 months, and you get to see how they live there now. And I always find enjoyment in realizing that I've built their house. Like their kids, their pictures are on the walls, there's toys, and I'm just like, these kids are gonna make memories
In the space that I built.
Yeah, and that gives me such good pleasure.
Nice.
It's such a good feeling of I'm doing something for society.
Yeah.
Like and I feel like that nursing kind of does that in a way where you feel like you're doing something, you know, like you're not just there. and I like that. I like that feeling. Cars will be the same because you know people need cars. There's
Purpose in everything, though. Like,
yeah, now there is, right?
Yeah,
No,
I
there
feel
is.
like there's no wrong way. Like you said, you didn't finish college and you wish you would have done, but there's like what you're doing is also purposeful.
Yeah.
You build the place that people are going to call their safe space, you know? So I feel like
yeah.
everything has a purpose.
Yeah, no, and I
For the
love
most
that.
part.
Yeah, not politicians. They just do things for their own. Dude, oh my God, I don't even want to get into it. My mom was like, you need to stop talking about it. because like like, and I'm like, nah.
I get that a lot. People are like, you are putting a target on yourself,
Yeah.
but I'm also like, I am learning, and you make so many connections, like speaking about things that you don't expect for people to be able to relate to. Like, and I've gotten so many people reach out to me to like want to share my story, and it is scary. I'm like, I am putting myself out there, and I am probably putting a target on my back, but I'm also feeling so fulfilled that I get to share, and that people can relate. And so many people have thanked me, and they're like, thank you for being brave enough to share, because it's a scary time to share stuff.
I don't get that. No, I don't get that, I guess.
Because people are afraid. Like, people
are afraid.
It could change your life. Like,
no, and I was gonna send you a message because I wanted to make sure not to touch on anything that like was like maybe not you were not open to talk about. And I do try to tell people like if there's something that you don't want me to touch on, because I am, dude. I'll ask about anything. I'll talk about anything. There's a bunch of weird topics that I have in my head that I've always like, oh, I want to touch. I want to talk with my guest about it. But some of them are really weird, and I feel like they're kind of intimate. Not intimate, but like it's just opinions are not weird. How can I say it? Like people don't want to share their opinions sometimes because I like to talk about death. Dying, killing yourself, not killing yourself, but trying to kill yourself, like stuff like that. And some people, it's really touchy for them because they've had somebody close to them do it or like stuff like that. But I'm always just really curious because I'm always telling people that like I thought about it a bunch of times when I was in high school. Like like I never did it, but it crossed my head. I was just like, what if I die?
I feel like talking about stuff like that is important. Like I've always said, like I want to know what makes you the person you are. Like, what are your traumas? What scares you? Like, such a more deeper connection than just like, hey, how are you? Like,
yeah, but people are really scared of being judged, which I do. I do judge people. I like to, but in a good way. Like, oh, really? You want to kill yourself? And I like that people can be like that with me because it's interesting. It is really interesting. Like one of the biggest questions that I have is like what is bad? Because I feel like bad is such a broad, like, okay, we have like rules, yeah, but like what is bad? And when is bad? Like, is it when you do it? Is it when you think about it? Or is it like the idea of doing it? Because there's a lot of bad things. Like, I mean, I've thought about killing others too. Like just in my head, like mi ex que se muera la verga, like things like that. Yeah, like she cheated on me, like que se muera, ojalá y se muera. Like dedicated those
Donald
songs.
Trump. Even though people want to kill like Donald Trump, or people kill Charlie Kirk.
And I'm like, okay, I know it's bad, but like is the thought bad? Like, am I bad for thinking like that, or is it like road rage? A lot of people get that, and I'm just like, sometimes I think people are dumb and stupid while they're driving. And I'm like, am I bad? Am I not patient? Like, is something in me like not okay?
I think you've asked me this before. You're like, am I an angry person?
Yeah, like, am I just a bad person?
No, but there is a lot of dumb drivers, bro. Dude,
bad.
I hate it. I even hate people that brag about being bad drivers. Like that gets my friends. They're like, I'm like zipper line, like you have to let them let them in, and they're like, no, I'm not gonna let them in. And I'm like, bro, it's like if you don't let them, you're making more traffic.
Yeah.
Like you have to.
You are the problem.
Yes, like because of you now, 2 lanes are having traffic. Like when you can just let them in and just keep going. No, I was in line, and I'm like, dude. Yeah, I need to read. Yeah, I need to like. How do people have driver's license? I don't understand. Yeah, I need to like read good, like how to drive and how to be good. And
it's because they don't care. They only care about what they have to do, and I have to be there on time, and I'm running late. But that's not my problem. I'm gonna speed, and I'm gonna get in your way.
Yeah. No. But I do question, like, and I do like to ask people like about being bad or good.
Being bad or good.
Or good. Yeah, good is or lying or like like. Killing is something too that's really interesting to me. Like, oh, like, you wouldn't kill, but if you were alive or somebody that you loved was like
on the line.
If you had to, you
would.
Are you like after? Are you gonna feel bad? And a lot of people don't feel bad. I feel like I feel bad. And like if I have to kill somebody because of my kids, I'll do it. But then I'll feel bad. Like I really would feel bad. Like I don't know how I would sleep at night. I
think it's definitely the unknown, just like, well, does it make me a bad person? Or you're raised growing up believing in heaven or hell. And I think even for you it's like, well, what's bad now, like if I don't really believe in that stuff or that's not me anymore, it's like, well, if I do this, am I really a bad person, or did I just justify it for myself? You know, like
moral complex issue.
yeah, it's
It
definitely
is. It
like
is.
it's a bigger thing.
That's why I like to talk about with people about it. I like to get them drunk
First, so they'll tell you the truth.
it's interesting actually because alcohol does make people talk a lot more. I feel like, and that's why I offer it, not because I want people to drink, but like sometimes I'm like, dude, if you like certain type of drinks, just let me know. I'll have like I'm not gonna get you super. I'm not gonna buy a 24 pack of something, right? But I'll have like 2 beers, and I feel like after the first one, people do start opening it more, and they start sharing their thoughts a little bit better. Which is, I mean, drinking does make you not make good decisions, right? So maybe it's not even good thoughts, but at least I get that. I get that, and I listen to it after, you know. So I'm just like, oh damn, that's I'm gonna like. Are you
I'm an
okay?
open book, and I'm sober.
I actually thought about that on the way here. Like, we were getting like up early, you know, we're getting our day started and stuff like that, and we knew we had this thing planned. And I know you were like, well, do you want to add your boyfriend onto this? And I was like, oh, like, yeah, that would sounds cool. And I think when I had asked her, I was like, well, what are you gonna talk about? Like, is it something specific or just kind of like anything? And she goes, oh, just pretty much about anything. I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then today it was like, well, should I smoke a joint before I come
Yeah.
here?
Well, I
was
used
like,
to, bro.
should I smoke a joint before I come
Oh,
here? Maybe
yeah.
I'm like, I'll speak more freely about something.
Oh, yeah.
And I decided not to. I was like, well, let me not be the bad person. Let me not like walk into like a room and smell, and let me not walk into a room and feel like, oh my God, it's like all too much.
Well, that's why I usually do the pods at night, and my kids are asleep at 8. So I do have drinks, and sometimes we go out there and smoke. At the beginning, dude, I used to get drunk, and I'm talking about like 3. It's insane how much you can talk. I mean, we're sober, right? And we're
Yeah.
at an hour and 30.
Oh, nice.
And it goes by really fast. But it's insane how at the beginning, I would have like 3-4 hour talks with people.
Oh,
Like they were leaving like at 12 a.m. And we were drinking, and it was just going so well. And it's something about talking. I'm telling you, like, I mean, you asked about why I started doing this. The main point of it was a selfish point, which was being better as a person, right? And I started realizing that I cannot be better by myself. I need others. The way that you know yourself in a way is by reflecting on others. So you listen to other people, you realize it, right? Not only that, I am 32, right? I'm young. I'm young. Yeah.
you're young.
I am not gonna be able to experience a lot in life just because of the way life is, and I want to do it. Like I said, I want to do everything. I wish I could do everything, but I can't. So the way that I do that now is by listening to people that do the things that I wish I could do. So I've had artists here that do music, and I hear them talk about it, and they talk about it with so much passion that I feel it. I'm just like, damn, that's so cool.
The
Like, you know,
world is different.
yeah, and I put myself in their shoes, and I even get this feeling of like, oh, like I can see myself doing that, and I feel it. I've had religious people here too. I've had people that are like, tuve un camarada que es, he worships the devil, I think, Satan.
Wow.
Crazy, but I was just like, dude, like I hear your passion on it, like, you know, you're talking about it, and you're like, and he's like, dude, it's actually not bad, like it's not about like sacrifices and stuff, like, you know, he talked about it, he was just like, it's just like literal like God, but like it's this other thing,
person.
yeah. And I was like, dude, that's pretty cool, like, you know, like I've had other people that do nothing.
Yeah,
Then I've had friends that do not, that they
Yeah.
don't have much going on in their life, but there's passion about certain things, and I talk to them, and I'm just like, I love it. You know, I love that I can experience that. So that was the main point of the podcast. And I used to get high, and I used to drink, and I used to like experience these things with them, and it's just an amazing thing. I feel like we need to talk to each other a lot more. I don't like that podcasts now are about certain things. Like you have to like have a topic on it. You have to like talk about certain things. I like that we can just open up.
And talk about whatever.
Yeah. I feel like that's the cool thing about it. But guys, I'm gonna have to stop it there.
That's okay.
Yeah, it's about to be lunchtime. Actually,
Let's
lunchtime. My
go.
kids are gonna get hungry. But I appreciate you guys coming. This is episode 130. It's probably gonna be out next Sunday.
1:30.
Yeah, and I
That's
have
awesome.
a few that I didn't upload it because it was the what do you call when you like try out like a bunch of like it's just like I forgot. There's a term for it. When
There's
Drafts. Or,
sort of, yeah. Well, I was experimenting, you know.
Yeah.
I was just like, what's going on with this? A lot of silence. A lot of silence. Yeah, it's really hard. You guys are really good at talking.
thanks.
Yeah. No, at the beginning, I started inviting friends that talked a lot, but once you put them in the mic,
They're like,
yeah, they get really shy. But you guys did really well, and I'm happy you guys were here. I hope I can get you guys some other time and we can talk some more.
Yeah, for sure.
Dude, yes, you gotta go to Lift
And-
ATX.
Yeah.
You gotta meet some of my Lift ATX friends. I think they think a lot about what you think about.
Oh, yeah.
And I think like we're all on the same page in terms of like, you know,
And we can get high.
Count me out.
yeah, count her out. But no, yeah, I think we all look at life the same way. Just kind of vibing, just chilling, hanging out, you know, getting to know each other through our experiences and, you know, what we go through and then just sharing that. And then going home, like leaving here, you know, I'm sure we're gonna have a conversation about
Well,
everything.
it's interesting that you say that. I'm always telling my guests, like, I feel like experiences are so short sometimes that even tomorrow, you're probably gonna like, not tomorrow, but maybe like in a few days, you'll forget. You know, like I have episodes like number one with like people that I haven't talked to. I still have them on social media, but I don't talk to them anymore as much. And I'm like, oh, that's crazy. That was a part of one day of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, pretty cool.
But you learn so much about people.
I did, and I have it. I listen to them. Sometimes I go back and listen to my other episodes just to learn from myself as well.
Nice.
I learn a lot from listening to myself. I listen to the podcast and I'm like, estoy bien pendejo. La neta. I'm like, why did I say that? So like next, I'm like, okay, this is something that I'm not with. That didn't sound good, or maybe I didn't phrase it the right way. So
Yeah.
I try to change it.
Let's go.
We're gonna end up with kind of like saying your social medias, maybe, so people can follow you guys if you guys want more followers.
Heck yeah.
Well, my Instagram is Valerie Alexandra AA. Valerie Alexandra.
On TikTok, on Instagram.
Yes, on both.
YouTube channel.
No, I don't have YouTube. That's
YouTube's
too complex
hard.
for me.
YouTube's a little hard.
YouTube's
Yeah.
hard. I've been waiting for this moment.
Hi.
All right, guys, we're here.
He used to do the videos for Lift ATX, so his
Oh, I
voice, he
love
has
it.
like a good like intro voice.
Go for it.
Yeah. Well, what up, guys? My name is Issac Almendarez. I am Valeria's partner. My IG is Almendarez Isaac, and that's pretty much it. Yeah.
I'm
Nothing's
a content
going on
creator,
there.
so follow me.
Follow her, and then you'll see me on there. And then if you guys want to see more of me, let me know.
Yeah, we'd love to be back.
All right.